but right now, Bo Scaife, he played tight end for the Tennessee Titans. They're in action today in the playoffs. We were just talking about them. Joining us on the show, so thank you so much for joining us.
Hey, how you doing, fellas, man? Appreciate you having me.
Yeah, excellent. Great for you to come on. And, it's been a couple of years since we've seen you in the league. How's retirement been treating you?
Oh, it's been good, man. Obviously the, initial, stage is, hard for most players. We hear about all the stats. But, one thing I, give credit to football is, it's really prepared me for, just my life in general and being able to overcome obstacles and just be successful no matter what I do. So, I owe the game of football a whole lot. And, my life is, I have a lot to look forward to because of, the things I learned in football.
That's pretty cool, Bo. And first, I want to wish you a happy birthday today. We really appreciate you coming on your birthday. You have anything crazy planned?
Y'all definitely taking time out of my activities right now. So, much love to y'all for getting the first glimpse of Bo today. I haven't left the house yet, so. But no, congratulations
really
on what you guys are doing, man.
Let's talk about the Chiefs-Titans game here, playoff game. What do you think's going on there? And we know the Chiefs have one of the best tight ends in the league. That's Travis Kelce. What's your prediction on this game here today?
Well, the Titans got a great tight end too, in Delaney Walker. So, it's going to be interesting that you brought up Kelce to see, which one of those guys makes, more plays today to help their team. I don't really anticipate it being a high-scoring game. I do feel that if the Titans get behind early, it's going to be to their disadvantage. And, this is a type of game that we need Mariota to really step up and improve why he was picked so high in the draft. We haven't seen, that consistently out of him. So, this is a great opportunity for Mariota to really step up and show why he should be the franchise quarterback.
And, Bo, I'm glad you brought up Marcus Mariota because last season, he looked great. And this season we just haven't seen it. Do you think it's injuries? We know he's battled a hamstring injury this year. Or you think there's more to it, that he's just, regressed some?
I think he's regressed a little bit. It is so hard to be successful in the NFL consistently. We see guys have great years, but it's hard to see guys have great years, year after year after year, especially at the quarterback position. That's why there's only a handful of guys who, get paid the way they do. So, he's still young. Still in the development process. He's still settling in, and learning the offense and really just understanding this league. And so I don't think he took a huge step forward this year, but that's not going to say that he's not going to do that. And like I said, this is a huge opportunity for him to, make a statement and really show why he needs to be this franchise quarterback for the Titans.
Do you see similarity in Marcus Mariota as you do in a teammate of yours in Texas and Tennessee, is Vince Young?
Yeah, I definitely do. More so in the physical, attributes. One thing about VY that people don't talk enough about is, his leadership qualities. Guys felt so comfortable when VY was out there, just because he was so loose and he just gave you that feeling that whatever we do is going to work and we're going to make it happen. So I don't know if the guys have bought into, Mariota and if he has that kind of persona yet. A lot of guys have to develop that. Vince had that naturally. So, like I said, he's still growing as a quarterback. Mariota is, and this is going to be exciting to watch today. I can't wait to watch.
And Bo, Vince very well, obviously from your days at Texas and then with the Titans. Why do you think it didn't work out for him? Because when he came in as a rookie in 2006, his first year as a starter, he was the offensive rookie of the year. He was 8-5. The team went 8-8. The second season he was a starter. He took you guys to the postseason. And then in 2008, he had that MCL sprain. So he really started off well with a winning record, the playoffs, like I mentioned. Why do you think it didn't work out for Vince Young?
There's a few things, obviously, with personnel. Him and Jeff Fisher had that, were at odds. I really think that if they could have put that behind, each other, Vince would have had an even more successful career than he did. I could also say, the NFL is the NFL. Why isn't Tebow playing? Why isn't, all these Heisman winners who, were great college quarterbacks coming in the NFL and dominate? So it just shows the level of competition in the NFL and how hard it is to be successful, regardless of what you've done, in previous years and in college. But I do think that Vince really had all the tools and the potential to be a great quarterback and still be playing. But There's so many guys coming in year after year. I don't think the league is going to wait around for guys to, catch up to them or to act a certain way. So it's just unfortunate, and life goes on. But I love, to this day, Vince is my favorite guy to ever play with, obviously.
And you had a very good career in Tennessee as a receiving tight end, but you scored a rushing tight end, a 13-yard rushing touchdown as a tight end. You don't see that very often. Is that up there with your career highlights? And if not, what's one of your favorite highlights of your career in the NFL?
We played the year we went 13-3. We played the Bears down there. In Chicago, it was super, super snowy again. I think I had about 10 catches for about 100 yards, something like that. But when you can grind out those tough wins against those great defenses, those are always games that you appreciate. So, I appreciate playing against the Bears. I appreciate, games where I was successful against the Steelers and the Ravens because, until people actually have played against those teams and those caliber of players, you really don't understand how tough it is. So being able to say that I got to play and was successful against those Hall of Famers that all those teams employed, it was that's a huge deal of mine, and I always speak about that.
And Bo Scaife joining us on Over the Top Sports Radio this morning, talking about his career a little bit. And Bo, you got out, I guess, 6 years ago after your season with the Bengals. You signed with the Bengals, didn't work out there, I guess. Did you get out with your health? I mean, you see so much about the CTE and all that stuff. I mean, you're 36 years old today. How are you feeling? Did you feel like you got out at the right time where you can live a very quality life?
Well, I had the same injury that Cam Chancellor and Cliff Averill are running into right now. I had a neck injury with the Bengals, and the little did I know that was the last game I ever played in the NFL. So, I was forced to leave with a neck injury. You get to a point where if you have an injury as such, you have to evaluate your future. And, when the doctor tells you, you're going to be at risk going out there of, being paralyzed if you get hit the wrong way, you really got a tough decision to make. So, it's a very physical game. Most of us have been playing since we're little kids. So, obviously, we have, a history of injuries, of being beat up and stuff like that. But for the most part, I feel okay. Obviously, I suffer from some of the, physical and mental ailments as most guys. But like I said, I'm so thankful for what this game has given me. And I have so much respect for the players and just how they play this game and the fact that they're even out there playing at that level.
I want to get two predictions for you. The two big games. Let's do Monday's national title game, Georgia versus Alabama, and then what's your Super Bowl prediction?
My Super Bowl prediction is Patriots-Vikings. Obviously,
I'm with you.
Patriots-Vikings. It'll be great for the Vikings to win, so I'll take the Vikings on that one, even though, the obvious answer obviously is New England. But I'll take the Vikings. And then, I was really impressed with Georgia the other night watching them against, Baker Mayfield and the Sooners. Obviously, I'm a Texas guy, and for once I was actually rooting for, Oklahoma. But, I hadn't seen a running game like that in a while. And, for them to be able to come back against a team like that and really do it running the football, we don't really see that often as teams, being down the way they were and just unleashing this explosive running attack of big plays to come back and win the game. So, that was really, really impressive to me. So I think, we're going to see 9-on-7 on Monday. That's what we're going to see, line up and run the ball. So I don't know how exciting it's going to be, but I think if, that kind of game, fares well for Georgia.
Yeah, I agree, and very looking forward to that game. We'll preview that game on our Monday night show as well. Vinny, of course, giving his picks. Just one last thing for me, Bo. With the playoffs starting today, you got to play in a playoff game. That game against the Ravens, we talk about a grinded-out game. What do you remember about that game? I mean, you guys obviously lost by a field goal, very tough season. Go 13-3, and then you lose, by 3 points to Baltimore. What do you remember most about that game?
I was talking to Greg McGinnis the other day, and, that was our shot right there. It doesn't come around often, but, we fumbled twice in the red zone. And, if those two plays turn into scores, we're playing Pittsburgh for a chance to, play in the Super Bowl, and we had beat both teams already that year. So, those turnovers killed us, and, it would probably have been a blowout. I also remember them converting a 3rd and 26 to Todd Heap. So that was hard, but, we definitely had our mistakes that game, and that's why, they won and we did it. And that's the key to playoff football is, limiting your mistakes and making the plays and capitalizing the opportunities that you do get when you get them.
And Bo, of course, thank you for joining us and happy birthday. I just want to mention and bring up to you that you're involved with Fresh Ed, where you're inspiring and you're telling your stories and trying to teach these young athletes. Could you just give us a few minutes on that and tell us what it's about?
Yeah, I started this, company Fresh Ed. It's a mentor and leadership company for young athletes. It's just I feel like I have a more obligation just to give back, and it's a natural fit for me to to help these young kids get on the right path, stay on the right path, and just give them the tools and the skills that a lot of us didn't have, coming up. So, it's been great for me. I mentor kids all over the country, young athletes, help them navigate through situations on and off the field and just become the best player that they can be. It's such a crazy industry, getting to college and getting to the pros. And, a lot of kids are just, drifting around and not having the type of resources and information that they need to be successful. So, any way that me, and the guys that I work with can advise these kids to, make the right decisions, because you have to do so many things right in order to make it. And, a lot of kids have just messed up 1 or 2 times, and it's cost them their dreams and goals. So we're just trying to prevent that and help more kids be successful and be able to, enjoy and have a fulfilled athletic career in their life after that.
Bo, that sounds great, to be honest with you. It really does. Our producer will put that on our Twitter so everybody can look at the site and see exactly what you're talking about. We're going to let you go here. We appreciate the time, Bo, but I just want to ask you, listen, tight end is a very it's a rare position, I want to say. There's only one on the field, usually, possibly 2. Who is the greatest tight end in the history of the NFL? From one to another.
I've just always been a fan of Antonio Gates, man. I really have. I mean, I grew up with Tony Gonzalez too, but, I just really love Antonio Gates, and it's so awesome to see him still out there, playing. I think he said he's coming back again next year. But, he's done it the best. But, my favorite one right now is obviously Gronk. To watch this guy play that position and just to be so big and dominant out there, it just helps. You can't help but to smile when you watch Gronk play.
Yeah, no, he's fun. I actually was smiling last night. I saw a stand-up comedy that Gronk did. He was actually really funny.
Oh,
yeah. This guy does it all. I mean, he's living the life, that guy. But, Bo, happy birthday again. Thank you so much for joining us, and we hope to catch up with you again.
All right, thanks, gentlemen, man. Congratulations. Keep up the good work.
Thank you so much. Bo Scaife, tight end from the Tennessee Titans, teammate of Vince Young, joining us on Over the Top Sports Radio.
Collins got another touchdown. Bo Scaife.
Collins fires to Bo Scaife for the touchdown.
Bo Scaife comes across the formation in motion. Damian Williams runs a little interference. Nice throw by Collins.